today. So I'm here to do the monthly wrap up for November 2021. I still can't believe it's December already. Today's December 2nd when I'm filming this. It feels like November flew by. But besides the point, I did the tallies and I did a total of 33 pages, which is potentially my best month ever. Maybe not necessarily, but I colored in 17 books. Like, look at all of this. I don't want this pile to collapse. But yeah, I colored in 17 books, which is definitely the most amount of books I've ever colored in a month. So I'm really excited to show you everything that I've done. There is a little bit of Christmas stuff in here, just a little bit, but mostly it's not. But I am going to zoom on in so I can show you the pictures much better. But I just wanted to zoom out so I could show you the volume of this ginormous stack I have in front of me. To start off today, I'm going to talk about this Winnie the Pooh book that I got at the checkout line at the grocery store. It is so cute. I just adore this book. The pictures are definitely on the simpler side, but they are single-sided, so you can use your alcohol markers. I do foresee this book falling apart though, but who cares? So I did two pictures in here this month. I did this picture of Piglet here that I think turned out really well, and it was such an easy color. I mean, come on. I just used colored pencils in here, yeah, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't want to do anything with the background, just put a little bit of dirt down here, but that was it. It was so easy breezy, and I'm really glad that I whipped out this book again. Before this month, I had only ever done one picture in here. That is this one. So I did this one earlier this year and I haven't done anything else. So I'm really happy that I was able to pull this book out again. So that was the first picture that I did. And then when I finished it, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not done with this book. I want to do more in here. So I did this page here. That is Winnie and Piglet just having some nice hot tea. And yeah, I mean, again, a very easy color. Could the background use more work? Absolutely, but who cares? I really enjoyed it. Again, super cute book. I don't know if I'll be able to link this one just because I did get it at the grocery store and I do live in Germany, so I apologize for that, but Nelson is the number of the printing press if you wanted to try and get your hands on this book. But it is precious. And if you did not know, Winnie the Pooh is my favorite character, so have to have all his books, obviously. Moving on to my first ever Coloring Heaven page, and also my first ever Fabiana Attanasio page. And I did just the first one, and it is this Beauty and the Beast page, and I used just a slew of different colored pencils. There's no markers in here, right? Yeah, but I did use this really amazing metallic gel pen. I hope you can see that. So I used it all along here on his collar, and then I also did a little bit of it in her dress just to add a little bit of sparkle in there. And I love these pens. Let me show you. It's these bad boys. So they're the Edding Gel Roller Metallic 0.7. I think you can get them like single pens. I can get a gold one or a silver one. I had gotten this gold and this silver for my birthday from a friend, and then I loved them so much that I ended up buying a whole pack. So now I have 2 golds and 2 silvers, but I will definitely use them up. They're amazing. So that is what's adding all that glitter and shine through here and just a little bit in her dress. But I really enjoyed this picture. This picture was a lot of firsts for me. As I said, it's my first Coloring Heaven, my first Fabiana Attanasio. It was also my first time ever doing hair, so I was really scared. It was also my first time ever doing a natural skin tone. I don't think I did that great, but it could have been worse. And then I've never also done fur or the mane. I don't know what you want to call what he has, but I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to work more in this book. And I love that these pages are single-sided. I feel like I say that all the time, even though I basically never use alcohol markers in those books. But that is something that I'm trying to change, as I will demonstrate with this beauty here. So I am trying to improve my skills of laying down marker and then working with pencil on top. That is something that I'm working on. And I wanted to try it out in this book here, which is my Creative Haven Happy Home, a Hygge coloring book by Jessica Mazurkiewicz. I love this book. I adore it. But I do only color in it during the colder months. So I haven't colored it in a while. But I did this picture here, and I have to say I really, first of all, enjoyed working in it. And second of all, I really like how it turned out. So in here, I based almost everything with alcohol markers, and then I went in with colored pencils, which is super new to me. I'm still getting used to it. And then I couldn't figure out what to do with the background because it was just blank. And then I was like, you know what? I'll do a black marker background. So I used a black alcohol marker for the background, as you can see here. So almost everything is based in marker. I didn't do it with like these smaller plants because I figured the detail was just too fine and I didn't want to deal with alcohol, like bleed out and stuff. But I really like how this turned out. I think the black background was a good choice and made the yellow and the greens pop. I don't know what these are. I just went with them being cookies. I don't know how correct that is, but I'm gonna say they were cookies. So really, really enjoyed it. Again, this book is lovely. All the pictures are single-sided since it's a Creative Haven book. And they just have a variety of images. I also like this one, the Slow Down, Unplug, Recharge, but it does have smaller details, so I don't know if alcohol markers would be of use here, but I still really enjoyed it. This is something I did last year. Yeah, I honestly don't think I've ever seen this book on anybody else's channel, and I don't know why, because I think it's super cute. But yeah, big fan of that one. And moving on to my 50 Stylish Mandalas by Camelia Angelkova. Obviously, I worked in it this month. I work in it every month. And yes, I did purchase the Christmas miniatures. It's arriving on Saturday. But I did a handful of pictures in here. I'm just going in order. So I find my color palettes online. And this one did not look this patriotic when I found it, but it's fine. I guess it's just either a premature or a delayed 4th of July picture. There is a little bit of glitter gel pen in here. It's a red one. It's not super shiny, but if you get close to it, I guess it is. But yeah, it was really nice. I really like this book. I think this might be my favorite mandala book that I currently own. And then I did this one. I do love a muted color palette. I want to say they're my favorite. I know some people might say it's boring, but to me, like, this is beautiful. I don't know. I just love something about a muted palette. This one's, I wouldn't say muted. This was another one I found online, and I just liked the calmness of the colors, and it made me like think of summer. I don't know, maybe like the ocean. But really enjoyed this one. And the last one that I did was this bad boy here. Yeah, that's the last one. And I think for this one, I looked up like winter color palette, and it's okay. I think my choices of markers weren't the best, but I still enjoyed it. You know, it's definitely about the process, and I enjoyed coloring it. There's no glitter gel pen. This is just markers. But yeah, the color palette looked better online, but that happens quite often, and that's okay. So I think now I'm officially done with, let's see how many in here. 12. So I've done 12 out of 50. Woohoo, making some progress. Then the next Camelia Angelkova book is the 101 Unique Mandalas. I did 3 in here by the number of tabs. So we have this one here. And I don't love this style because to me this is not really a mandala, but that's okay. And this was another color palette I found online. And like here it looks like it's white, but it is a gray, and I think it's just a little too close to white to really stand out, so that's unfortunate, but that's okay. I still enjoyed it. I really like the shade of like saddle brown. Don't know why. Then I did this delightfully obnoxious color palette. This, I just pulled random markers from the pack. This was not like a planned color palette. This was just me pulling markers. I have a set of Ohuhus that I'm trying to use up, and these are the colors that are still in the pack. And the last picture I did in here is this one. And I think this one was also just random markers that I pulled. Really want to use up those Ohuhus because they're all basically dead at this point, but they're not fully dead markers yet. So I'm still trying to get as much use of them as possible. I think I ended up throwing out this light purple. Yeah, that's why it's not on the outsides, because I tossed it. And then I think another one of these markers, maybe this like medium green, I tossed. So I'm definitely using them up, but that's kind of why I have some miscellaneous, you know. One of these also went, or maybe even two of these. I can't remember. But I'm having mixed feelings about this book, to be honest. So I've done a lot of pictures in here. I'm definitely working through it. But like some of these I know I will never color. Like this, 100% not my style. Like just really not interested in like this style. These are questionable. I don't love the snowflake ones. I think I've only done one. Like some are definitely more favorited. Like I like this style here. As you can see, I think I've done all of them from that style. Let's see, the spinny ones I'm not feeling. So we will see how much of this book, also not loving these ones. We'll see how much of this book I will complete at the end, but some of them are not my cup of tea. But that's okay. I mean, there's 101 in here, so there's plenty to do. And then I also worked in my 70 Amazing Patterns adult coloring book, volume 1 by Aaliyah Fisher. I've never actually seen any of the other volumes. And this page is a freaking disaster. So I started working on this middle. I always do my mandalas from the middle out. So I started working on the middle. Like, basically half of these markers died. So I knew I would not be able to do the rest of the page in these markers, which were also miscellaneously selected. So I just switched to these grays and blacks, and then some of the grays started to die on me. It was a whole thing, so I think this is quite ugly. And that's okay if you agree with me. That's completely fine. I still finished the page because I didn't want to just quit. And like, because I always say, you know, it's about the process. So I enjoyed the coloring process. I think the final result is, you know, I've done better, but that's okay. So this book does have a bunch of patterns in it as promised, and they are a bit on the bigger scale as compared to the Mandalas by Camellia. So if maybe those are a bit too like small, fine detailed, maybe a book like this would be good, but I'm slowly making my way through it. And then moving on to my Hatchet Heroes books, I colored, I think, 3 pages in my Disney Buddies, like the Pixel book. This is the only Pixel book I own from them, and I really like it. I want to get more, per usual, but I'm trying to be really good with my purchasing and yeah, just working what I have because I definitely have enough. So I was at first going in order. So I did this one last month, so I figured I would do this one next. But the issue that I'm having is that I don't know a lot of these characters. Like, I don't know where these cats are from. I think it tells you in the back. Let's see. Oh no, it just tells you their name. So I'm sure I could look it up, but yeah, I just don't know what these characters are. I still enjoyed the coloring, but I really wanted to kind of work on some characters that I did know. So that's why I jumped ahead and I did this page here. So these are the mice from Cinderella. I think they're precious. And I obviously used the cross and dot method in here. And then I did another page of characters that I actually knew. and it's Olaf and Anna from Frozen. I loved Olaf. I thought he was super duper cute. So that is my progress in Hatchet Heroes Buddies. Moving on to these big books. So this is the Trompe l'Oeil Tome 3. So this is the Optical Illusions. And in here, I'm just going in order. So I did this page this month. And I don't know who this gentleman is. I do know that he looks terrified and like he's not in the best hair state of his life. So yeah, but I'm just going in order, so I don't care who the character is or what the picture's going to end up as. I just really enjoy these books. I did get this book last month, so I did 3 pictures last month and this one this month. So next month we'll move on to here. Well, actually this month, because it is December. I don't know if I'll get to color in these books this month because I'm really trying to stick to only coloring in my Christmas books this month because, you know, they kind of get disregarded for the rest of the year, maybe except for a little bit in July. So yeah, I want to give them some love. But this is the Disney Princesses by Hatchet Heroes. I think it was released this year. This book didn't get a lot of attention for me for the longest time, so I figured I would color in it this month. And I did this picture of Sleeping, is it Sleeping Beauty? Is it? I know she has the 7 dwarves. Snow White. Snow White. It is Snow White. Oh my gosh. I did this in my I color straight for 5 hours or 6 hours video. I don't want to talk about her dress. I went on a whole like rampage about it during my video. I absolutely detest how it looks. I tried to fix it by laying some pencils over it, and then it just made it look more poo-poo brown. So not my favorite, but that's okay. But the sad thing is I was really loving this picture, like the top, like I thought looked really good, and then I got to the dress and I ruined it. But fortunately, there's 99 other pictures in this book for me to feel better about. So, and another one of these thick books, I want to say thick boys, and then it's books at the same time. It was a struggle. It is the Circle Babies. I did get this last month as well, and I've been really liking it. In full disclosure and honesty, I don't really love this style of pictures. So there's 2 types. There's the bigger circles, and I did do this picture last month, and then there's the smaller circles. I don't love the smaller circles. I find them annoying because you need to have a fine tipped marker, and it's just, yeah, not my favorite. But then I also did this page, which is from Inside Out, and not all the colors are a perfect match, but that's because they needed so many different shades of like warm nudie browns that I'm sorry, I don't own 50 brown markers. So I improvised on some of it, but I still like it, and I just love this movie, and I will honestly color any picture from this movie. And moving on to my last Hatchet Heroes book, it's my Trompe l'Oeil Tome 2. So this is another Optical Illusions, but just volume 2. So I have 2 and 3. I don't have 1. And I was so tempted to get 1, but I'm like, okay, like you have 2 already. They're not done. Maybe work on them before you get the other one. But I did this picture of Genie, and I just wanted to complete more pictures in order. So I had this one done, I had this one done, I had Aladdin done, so I figured I would do this one, and it turned out to be Genie. So really like this one. Per usual, I use my Crayola Super Tips and my Staedtler dual-ended markers. But I'm doing quite well in this book. I think I was keeping track somewhere of how many pages I've done, but I think I'm either more than a quarter or more than a third of the way done. I know I'm also flipping to all the pictures that are not completed, but I've definitely done a good amount of pictures in here. Love these books. You can't go wrong with those. Moving on to my completed George Tufex's pages for the month. I own most of his coloring books, so I'm trying to dabble in some of them. So Country Scenes is a book I'm going in order. So I did a page in August, which was this page, and this month I did this one. It was quite quick just because there was so much greenery that, you know, one marker covered a lot of ground here. But I really like these books, and I'm really glad to own pretty much everything he's ever published. I don't own, gosh, I think there's like a garden one that I don't have. I don't have the seafront one, or like seaside or something like that. I'm not a water, ocean kind of person. So to be honest, that one just doesn't appeal to me. But besides that, I think I own most of his books. So I also did a page in Autumn Inspirations. And for some reason, this page took me forever. Like, it was on my desk for like a month and a half. Like, I definitely started this last month, and it just, I don't know. It really uninspired me. I honestly couldn't tell you why, but after a while, I finally finished it. I mostly finished it so I can get the markers off of my desk, because I was like pulling the markers and just leaving them on my desk. So it just became a mess. But I did finally finish this page. There are definitely a good amount of horizontal images in here, which I'm okay with in a color by number, but when it's not color by number, for some reason I'm not a big fan of horizontal pages. I don't know how to explain that one. Moving on to another George Tufex's book, and like I said, there's just a little bit of Christmas stuff in here. And I did this page, and I loved working on this page. I had like a quiet evening last week, and I just listened to my audiobook and sat in bed with a nice cup of tea and colored this. I loved it. I love this little wooden cabin. I think it's really cozy. And yeah, just really enjoyed this one. This is my most colored in George Tufex's book. I've done, again, I don't know if I'm keeping track. And some of the books I am, let's see, I've done 12 images in here. So it's definitely my most colored in. But there's definitely plenty more pictures to go, as you can see. But maybe I can make a nice dent in this book this year. Because like I said, I'm really trying to only color in Christmas books in December. And then I pulled out my Spirographics Harry Potter. I haven't colored in this in ages, so... And I wanted to use up some of my gel pens. And it's a picture of Dumbledore, and he's very, very shiny because I used up a whole gel pen, the dark blue on the outside, and then I had to switch to the lighter blue in the middle and used up most of that one as well. And I'm just going in order in this book, so this is the 4th image in here. I did Ron earlier, Hermione, and Harry. So I'm just going in order. I'm not looking up who it's going to be before I do the image, so I try to guess. This one is a little bit hard to guess because, like, if you look at just the outside, this was like very dark and this was really weirdly patchy, so this one was hard to guess. But I think I got him at like maybe 75%. 75% done. I was like, oh, okay, it's Dumbledore. And then this is the other Christmas book that I worked on, and it's the Lines coloring book, and this is by Jennifer Rowling. I think she also goes by Cactus Girl, but I got this book this month, and I really wanted to test it out, and then I got addicted to it. So the first page I did, it was this really nice snowman, and I used a Staedtler dual-ended marker in here. Then, since I enjoyed that one so much, I did the next one. Super cute. Then I decided to, again, use up some gel pens. As you can see, I used up 1, 2, 3, 4 gel pens on this image, and actually the black one died right at the end too. So I used up 5 gel pens on this image. It looks cuckoo because there's just so many different colors, but it's a really cute little candy cane holding, cherry wearing little creature. I love it. And then I did one more because I couldn't help myself, and it's this cute little elf with a candy cane. And for this, I think I used, yeah, it's a gel pen, but it actually lasted the whole image. So cheers to that. So I'm on page 4, and I'll just go in order in these, and you'll definitely be seeing this book in my December wrap-up because I really enjoy that book. And the 17th book of this video and the last book is something that I actually completed this month, well, in November, which I'm so excited. It's the Square Mandalas by Belba Family. And I'm so happy that I was able to finish it because I really enjoy this book, and it's also a really good feeling to be able to finish a coloring book, right? So I used a combination of cross and dot methods in here. By the way, I did a full flip of this book like colored earlier this month. So if you're interested in seeing all of the pictures in here, you can check that out. It's quite a quick video because I could just flip through the colored pages. But I love this book, and I'm really tempted to get another one of these Square Mandala books from Belba Family, but I will wait a bit. So that is it. But yeah, I'm so happy. I finished the whole stinking book, but I did only get it this year. So I did the first page. Oh, here. The first page was February 16th, and my last page was November 22nd. So I did quite well in here. Really, really glad to have completed this book, and just I'm glad I had such a good coloring month. I foresee December as being less books, definitely, because I don't own that many Christmas books, and also less pictures just because there's holidays, and you know, I might be traveling, I might be going back to the States. We'll see about that, you know, with the restrictions and everything. And just, you know, if I'm doing more pencil work, it just takes longer, so there will be less images. But I'm really excited. I hope everybody is having a lovely time and a lovely holiday season, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Bye.